Welcome to the studio. I am going to unbox a package I have been so excited to receive from New Wave with the u.go Plein Air palette and tripod. And I thought when I was doing this, it'd be fun to just bring you along because I saw this in person at the Posh Society, but I haven't actually seen it or used it myself. So going to look at it together and then do a little tour of the plein air palettes that I have and love. If you're in the market or if you're just curious about the pros and cons of different options that are on the market, I think this is going to be the lightest, the most versatile, the most well designed based off of what I've already seen. But let's start with what I've already got, okay? This is the palette I've had for well over 10 years. My dad bought it for me the year that I took my first workshop, so this would have been 2015 or 2016 off of eBay, if you can believe it. It's a sienna palette. I have loved it. It just has a quick open closure here, and then it tightens on the side. It's a full wooden construction. Let me get a little support here. This is their smallest size, and I have just a piece of plexiglass in here. This once was plexiglass, now it is plexiglass oil paint conglomerate. And it can hold up to, I believe this one holds up to 16 inches. No, I think it only holds up to 12. So it's quite a small surface area. This is about maybe a foot wide here. And it just attaches with a regular tripod attachment. And then there is a slight extender. Oh boy, that you can add here. So I just put this on my tripod, and then I have this to hold brushes, or usually that's what I do. There's these little ridges here. It's worked great. I have taken this all over the place. It's a little worse for wear, as you can tell. I need to glue that back together. The cons, it's not light, it's not thin, and it's showing its age just a little bit, but I have truly beaten it up, as you can tell. This comes up here and tightens and goes down. All in all, I think that my dad got this for $30 or something. It was a used panel that someone had just decided they weren't actually going to plein air paint and listed on eBay. So it was a crazy deal. I have definitely gotten my money's worth, but you can see here, it's quite thick, multiple inches. And it's quite heavy. I have still traveled with it everywhere. It does still fit into a backpack. But if weight is an issue and you're trying to go as lightweight as possible, it's not the most prime option on the market. But again, I have loved it, and I have treated it like it was the lightest weight option because I've taken it everywhere. That has been over the last several years when I'm going to be painting, and I don't need to be carrying everything in a backpack, right? So there were times in my life, like when I lived in Maine, when Adam and I met, I was biking everywhere, so I needed to be like very, portable. I wouldn't have used this, but this is for if I am not having a far distance to travel and I need more mixing space and I want to paint a bigger painting on location. So this is an Easy L. I actually have this in 2 sizes. And I think this is their medium size. It's quite large. I had a piece of glass cut for this because I knew this wasn't going to be my daily or my plein air only painting palette. This is old paint from a video I did with CW Monday, which I just apparently felt too sentimental to scratch off. It holds all different sizes of panels very easily of here, and then there's a spring up here to apply pressure. It is thinner, it's not lighter, it can be a little wobbly. I don't recommend buying the Easy L tripod. I've had a Velbon brand tripod for all these years that has worked well. Again, really a nice classic, it's literally called the Classic from Easy L. It's got a little carrying handle that I've never used, but it's nice to have, I guess. So this is what I've used for if I'm going to be going and taking a workshop, when I need a little bit more of a workspace. I'm not worried about the weight. I'm not worried about the size. this will work. It's not really a plein air pochade, however. Okay, the smallest one that I've had up until this point is the pochade palette, which is Michael Klein's little handheld palette. I, in truth, have not used this as much as I thought I would when I got it, because I have found that holding the paint, I just don't do a whole lot where I just wish that I could be working this small, where I am only working on this amount of space. If I'm going to be plein air painting, I'm usually going to be wanting to get a little bit of a larger piece. I just haven't used it as much as I thought I would. I do really love it. It just has a little spot here for your hand. You can order a left or a right hand one. It's got this leather cover on the front, and there's this little handy slit right here, so you can actually slip. It's sort of like a Michael Klein advertisement. Here's Michael's brushes from Rosemary, which I do love. So you can slip those in there, and they can become like a little holder, so then you can just pull them out, put them back. I think it's a great product. I don't use it very much because I want a tripod. All right, let's get to the unboxing. This is the u.go by New Wave, and I am so impressed with the way that they have manufactured this. So let's see what this is all about. Ooh, I like this. All right, let's see. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It's very light. Wow. When I saw it at the Portrait Society, it was a demo piece, right? And so I couldn't hold on to it. Wow, look at that. Oh, that's so beautiful. Very, very lightweight. A lot smaller and a lot thinner. Look at that. That's crazy. No bulkiness on the outside edge either, with any outside clips or, whatever the word would be. I can't think of it. So let's see how we open it. Oh, it's just like really strong friction, whatever these are. What are those called? Friction hinges, thank you. Coming to make it, oh, look at this. And there's Keith and Kyle, the makers of and owners of New Wave. This is so exciting. Oh my goodness. Look at this. This is so cool. Okay, so here is a plexiglass surface, so it's never going to shatter. And then this is, again, just tension. And does it go up and, it goes up and down. Oh my word. So I could hold something up to quite a large size there. And I think they even make these with extenders so that you can get one that is much longer than this, so you can hold it a much bigger piece. That is so nifty. I like how they're really small too, and they just have these grips, because on plein air I'm not going to be painting on a stretched canvas. This is so iconic. Okay, and then there's just a little attacher for the tripod, which we're going to unload next. I love that amount of mixing space too, especially for plein air. And you could use this for any medium. It doesn't have to just be oil. And I think they even do oh, look at that. See? You can pull it out. Wow. So I could pull this out and I could try putting a whole different little palette in there if I was going to be using a different medium, and then it just literally snaps right back. Holy cow, that's so smart. I love how there's, oops, gotta close that all the way. I love how there's nothing, let me put that back up all the way. Okay, so how do I make that? There we go. Love how there's nothing on the outside edges, so it would just slide so nicely into a messenger bag, and it's so lightweight. All right, let's try this tripod next, and then I think there's even some accessories. They manufacture this themselves, and I'm really curious about it because, like I mentioned, I've just been using tripods from Amazon, Velvon brand. There's some information about it inside the box, which I probably won't read right now, but okay, it tells you how to use it. And it's got Look at that cute case. That is so compact. Holy cow. This is way smaller than my other tripod, which is at least 4 to 5 inches bigger and a lot heavier. This is, I don't know the exact weight of it, but significantly lighter than any of the others. Wow. A lot of padding in here as well on this tripod. That case is so phenomenal. What? Oh my, what is this like new agey experience? Okay, so this pulls up, they come down, and then I bet this loosens. Yep, okay, so then this would loosen and come down. That's pretty cool if you don't need that height. Looks like there's 3 options for extension, which make it go quite high. So let's just put it up here together. Really nice springs. I love how these come out to the side. I once had a tripod that you pulled them straight. Instead of coming from the side like this, you pulled them down. And I had a painting that was painting on an aluminum sheet fall off, and it just snapped the whole thing right off because of the direction. It was a freak accident, but I had to buy an entirely new $70+ tripod, and I just thought that's a really foolish design. Wow, okay, so these literally go every which way. You literally just find one of the channels and push it in. Duh! Okay, so then it's sitting like that, or if I wanted it to be a little bit more spread eagled, I'd go into this channel and I would push that one. Okay, that's actually very simple and very smooth. Now let's put this in. I'm gonna actually take this off. So this could come out and just go directly onto the pochade itself. Love that it has this little tightener right on it, so you don't have to have any materials out in the field. Okay, just tighten them down. That looks good. And then come in and slide it into that channel right there, and then tighten it using this thing right here. All right, so here we have it. It is on the tripod. There is no wobble. That is my arch nemesis of plein air painting, is when there is a wobble on these things. It just so maddening. And I could make the ball head here. I can swivel back and forth this way, so if there's a tripod leg in my way, I can just choose it. That's extremely easy to work with. And then I can move this ball head to any orientation. I tend, if the light is right, to like to have it at a little bit of an angle. That is so superior to what I've been working with my other one, which is just pretty difficult to work with. Look at that! Oh my goodness. Now I have a couple of little accessories here. So let's see what these accessories are all about. There's another how-to. Okay, this is an aluminum piece. I feel like it's supposed to go here. This then, oh, wow. This now becomes a solvent holder, brushes holder, and it's so lightweight. It snaps right on. And they also gave this, so I guess you could even have it, tighter on if you felt the need, if there was maybe like, I don't know, some crazy strong wind or something happening to help with that. But that is very, very cool. It fits just on this side, but it looks like it actually works either way, left or right, to hold. That's exactly what this other one is. So, oh my, look at all this extra room. You could even leave it right here and hang your, not even put the wood on, and hang your solvent. If you're working with solvent out in the field, you can hang your solvent in that. Oh, look at him, he's so beautiful. That is a lot of painting space. Comes with these two, which have the little u.go label, which is pretty cute. This says a stretched canvas holder. Okay, so this comes in and it's got that thickness to it. So it would replace this really thin holder, which I really am, oh, look at that. They just come right off, the thinner ones. That is so, and the bottom, oh, those are strong. And now I can hold a stretched canvas. That's killer. Wow, they have thought of everything. I love the magnetization of it as well. Because how often I've had screws get loose, like on my little Sienna palette that has screws, they've fallen out. And one time they fell out in my bag and I almost couldn't paint at all. I thought I had lost them. I've lost the screws before, and that pulled the tightening elements for the canvas. Pretty much out of luck if that happens when you're using good. This is a palette that's gray, in case mixing on white isn't your jam, which it isn't my jam. I'll do it, but I don't have to. Oh my. Okay, so I actually think that this is non-tempered glass. It's gray, painted gray on the back. I think this is a plastic that I would use for gouache or watercolor. And this is my glass for oils, or if I was worried about this cracking, if I'm hiking Everest, then I wouldn't bring this and I would bring this, and it'll just slide right in. Pop this bad boy out. This one is significantly heavier, so again, if I was going to do backpacking, I would not want to bring this because it is adding to the weight, but for my use case, I would probably prefer to use this. Oh, and now I can use my scraper and my palette knife and all these things, and I could use that white one for gouache or watercolor or acrylic or anything. I can still use it for oils as well. That is wickedly cool. Wow. Okay, so thoughts overall, a lot more versatile. It is a lot lighter weight, and they have thought of everything. Really beautiful design. Love the tripod, much lighter. Pretty much basically everything is lighter and sleeker than any of the options that I have used. I know there's a lot more brands out there than I have used personally, but the craftsmanship of this, the other thing is that they hand make these. So when I was speaking with New Wave, they said, well, we'd love to get it to you sooner, but they are all being hand sanded, and you know, their finish is being put on and they're getting all put together, and we're still 2 weeks out from the next batch, and they're all going to be shipping out. So we just have to wait. And so I've had to be more patient than I wanted to be to receive this. So just really admire the craftsmanship of the thing as well. I cannot wait to paint with this. I hope you enjoyed this. It's a fun little trip down, I don't know, a plein air painting material alley. This is really a phenomenal piece. I cannot wait. I'm so glad it's still so warm and just only August, so that I can go out and plein air paint with this. And if you have questions about this palette or any of the others that I've mentioned, hop in the comments, let me know, and I'll talk to you there.